sports from the stands, and I'm finishing up or keep going through my team outlooks for the NBA offseason, preseason, and all that. The draft is happening tonight, and I've gone through 2 divisions in the East, and I'm on my 3rd, so I'm gonna just keep doing my breakdowns. I'm in the Southeast. First up, Miami Heat. All right, had a good year, got good pieces, no draft picks. Key free agents are D Wade and Wayne Ellington, and they say that they need shooting still. So obviously they had good success with their finding players that people kind of didn't anticipate them finding or developing. You know, you got Tyler Johnson, you got what's the kid's name? Magruder. I'm trying to think of the other kid, Josh Richardson. You got some good players in there that are decent players, good role players. And Miami had a good year. The culture in Miami seems to be what people allude to, just how they work you out, get your body right, get you prepared and ready for the season. And Miami's good. They had a good first round. Just couldn't get over the hump. But what I think they should do, my assessment of the team, you bring back Dwayne Wade. I know he's kind of past his prime. He's considering retiring, but I think he's only considering because we don't know what Miami's going to do. I know he's not going to go anywhere else, or we assume he's not going to go anywhere else based off the things that he said. So I think if Miami says, "Nah, we don't want, we're going in this direction," he'll retire. But I think if they say, "Hey, we give you 1 more year on a cheaper contract," I think he'll keep playing. So I think they should bring him back. I think we saw in the Philly series how he still has it. He still can be the guy to give you a win or get you a win because he's just that good of a player. He's that great of a player, actually. I think they should bring him back. Then I think you should engage the trade market for deeper talent. Now, I know people are considering or throwing him in the mix, again, possibly for LeBron to come back. I don't see that happening. It's possible, but I just don't see it. I don't see what makes Miami the best destination for him to go this time around. I don't see it. Now, will they be better if he comes? Obviously, but I don't see Miami as a team to put him over the top to beat Golden State. But you got to see what the market is like for those players. Like I said, you got good pieces where you can package them together to get a difference maker type player in there. That they're trying to figure out what to do with Hassan Whiteside. And it's, like I said, you got the Tyler Johnsons, the Josh Richardsons, the Magruders, the James Johnsons. They're a deep team. Justice Winslow. So if there's a package out there to get you a better player, more of an all-star type player to go with Dragic, then I think that's the way that you go. They're a good combo team, just fully loaded at different positions. But if you can find a star or somebody close to a star to kind of separate yourselves a little bit, I think that's what they should do. Now, again, that's to say that's even available or out there. So the same thing, they should engage for the Kawhi trade. If it's something that San Antonio likes from their team that doesn't gut their team, you consider it and see what you can do. But if it's nothing that makes sense, then you just stand pat what you're doing. Bring back D Wade, keep the culture going, what you guys have already built, and you keep moving forward. All right. Next up, we got one of my favorite teams in the league, from my hometown kid, the Washington Wizards. Disappointing season, if you ask me. Make the eighth seed by the skin of their teeth. Lose to Toronto in the first round. They did keep their draft pick finally, so they do pick 15th, which is exciting because they normally trade their draft picks trying to find a piece at the deadline to get in. What I think the Wizards should do, as a fan, as a basketball, I consider basketball mine, it's time to break up some of the team. Now, that does not include John Wall. That does not include Bradley Beal. It does include Marcin Gortat and Otto Porter. I know they just signed Otto Porter, but to me, that is a lot of money for a guy who cannot get his own bucket. It's $20+ million for a guy who is better served standing in the corner receiving the kick out. He plays defense very well. He does a lot of things very well. He's a great or good to great three-point shooter, but you can't give him the ball and say we need a bucket, go get it. So that's a lot of money for that. What I think they should do is to try to get Boogie Cousins. Achilles and all, you try to get Boogie Cousins. He has a relationship with John. He's an all-star center. We haven't had an all-star center in a long time. I don't even remember one in my lifetime. Tell me if I'm wrong. But you go out to Boogie. You got Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre can start at the 3. He can start. And in the draft, maybe you can get a backup 3 or in free agency or something. You try to go out to Boogie. I don't think you should go out to DeAndre Jordan. He's too much money for, again, somebody who can't get his own bucket. It has to be pick and roll. It has to be systematic. I don't think that that's the guy you get. I think it's Boogie, and you keep moving forward. If somebody else calls for Auto with a package, I got to see what that package is, and we consider that. You got to move Gortat if you can get Boogie. If you can't, you keep Gortat. He's got another year. He's a good starting center, and he's cheap. Got to try to get out of that Mahimi contract. It didn't work out. They should have never signed him to that deal. Once they struck out on Horford, they should have just went to the next option and break the money up. To give Mahimi all that money, man, I don't understand what they were thinking. But that's what they got to do, man. If you want to be at the top, which John Wall wants to be at the top, he's continually saying it. Bradley Beal, we know, wants to be there. He's gotten better. He made the All-Star team. I think he's going to continue to get better. You got to change the team. It's good to have that core. But John, Bill, and Porter. But we're trying to take the next step. We're trying to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, for goddamn it. So you know what I mean. That's what the Wizards got to do. You bring back Mike Scott. Mike Scott was good off the bench. Jody Meeks signed his little or opted in. Don't really like Jody. Didn't like that signing either. But maybe he can be moved because it's an expiring deal. Jason Smith maybe could be moved because it's an expiring deal. Don't bring back Ramon Sessions. They should have never re-signed Ramon Sessions. He is not good to us. They should have signed or tried to sign Derrick Rose. Can't say he would have came. But they need a playmaker off the bench. We don't have a playmaker off the bench at all. Everybody else is role players. You need a playmaker off the bench. Another name they should consider, seeing what the market is like for, is Jabari Parker. If Milwaukee will sign and trade Jabari to us, we need to get Jabari Parker. That is a playmaker in the starting lineup or off the bench if you continue to start Markieff Morris. So that's what we should do. Go out to Boogie, go out to Jabari, and we need a backup point guard who's better than Ramon Sessions. I'm sorry. He's just not it. But that's what the Wizards need to do, man. Like, I'm excited for the Wizards. I'm hoping we can get it right. I'm hoping I see some things change for us because, the Capitals just won the championship, brought the cup home. And the Nationals is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The Mystics having a good season so far. The Redskins, hopefully we see what they do. But the Wizards, basketball being my favorite sport, we got to represent, man. We got to do it better. Because the big people ain't coming here. KD not coming, LeBron not coming. So we got to do what we got to do because we got some all-stars in place with Bill and Wall. And we just got to keep building around them. Boogie should be your number one target. That's just me. All right. Next, you got the Charlotte Hornets. They got the number 11 pick. Missed the playoffs. Yesterday, they just traded Dwight. Apparently, he was a locker room issue. People didn't like him in the locker room. I kind of feel like more so it's because Mitch Kupchak is now your GM. Dwight did not resign with Mitch in LA. They probably don't have the greatest relationship. So, Mitch Kupchak did sign Timofey Mozgov in LA. So, you trade Dwight and get Mozgov back. That's obviously he believes in Mozgov. So, I feel like that's a part of the reason why that trade happened as well. But that's all speculation. No facts there. Just me thinking and evaluating the situation. Key free agent is Michael Carter-Williams. And they just need to keep going with the youth movement. I feel like they need to trade Kemba. Kemba's been great to them. It's not as if they don't like him or he's not a good enough player. But Kemba is not going to change the course of that franchise. It's just, obviously, it's not going to happen. They're going to suck. They're going to be bad. They need to get out of that, that Batum contract, which was stupid in the first place. But now they're stuck. They're going to have to package a pick. Like, they might have to, it can't be this pick because I think this draft is too deep. But they have to package a pick with Batum to get them out of that contract. They don't have to package a pick with Kemba. They're going to get a pick or picks to trade Kemba. So I think they need to trade Kemba just to give more pieces in the fold, build through the draft, give Mitch Kupchak a clean slate, give that head coach a clean slate, and continue to grow with the youth. And eventually we'll see how we develop. But you're not going to be a good team next year. You're not going to be a good team for the foreseeable future. You're not going to be able to attract huge free agents in Charlotte. So you got to build through the draft and build your team up. And that's what they need to do. That's the way they need to go. You got to move Kemba. Orlando Magic. Fire Vogel. Hire Steve Clifford. They need a big man. They need a point guard. They picked 6th in this year's draft tonight. Key free agents, Aaron Gordon is restricted, and Mario Hezonja is a free agent who was a pick who didn't really turn out so much or nothing either. They need a point guard. My assessment is draft a point guard, keep building forward, whether it be Trae Young, whether it be Colin Sexton, whether I don't think they should sign or try to sign a free agent point guard because you're not going to be ready to win right now. So why sign a vet point guard like an Isaiah Thomas or like I know George Hill probably might be a free agent again or somebody like that. Why sign that guy when you're not going to win with that guy right away? You need to draft a young one, build with the young one, pairing with Aaron Gordon, keep building, pairing with see if Jonathan Isaac turns out to be what you expect. Keep building. So build through the draft. It's another team who just it just hasn't worked out with everything they've tried to do. When they tried to get Ibaka, it didn't work. Maybe they move Vucevic. He's a good center to me. Maybe he brings in more pieces. You definitely move him if you draft a center. If there's a center at 6 and you take a center, so if they take a Wendell Carter or Jaren Jackson or whatever, you move Vucevic at some point because he can bring you some more assets. So I feel like they need to draft a point guard. I feel like that's what they need to go. Get a ball handler in there. They pretty much gave up on Peyton. They traded Peyton last year. So I think that's the route they need to go to keep progressing forward at some point in the forthcoming seasons. All right, and then lastly in this division, it's the Atlanta Hawks. All right, they got the 3rd pick, the 19th pick, the 30th pick, and the 34th pick. So they got the picks this year. They need star talent. They signed Dwight last year. Didn't work. He's not a star anymore. They traded him. He's since been traded again, as we previously said. Atlanta, it's tough. I think they need to trade everything. Everything. Trade Schroeder, trade Bazemore, and again, it's another team in the East that's going to have to rebuild through the draft. I think Bazemore is a free agent next year, so if you don't trade him, that's fine. That's not the big deal. Schroeder apparently is unsettled, but they're hearing that it's hard to move him. But I think any trade could be made if the right deal is put together. But I think you trade him to get assets in. You got enough picks here. Wherever they go at 3, I think will determine what they do. If they trade back and get more picks, I've even heard that they're willing to take on some bad contracts to get more picks in the fold, which I think is a smart plan as long as it's not anything that's going to set them back for years to come. You take on a contract, they got a year or 2 left. Nothing pretty much more than that. I would even consider, if I was them, taking on the Chandler Parsons contract for whatever trade that they want for number 4. But is it a player that they can offer that Memphis is going to want? I doubt it. But if it was, I would do that because then you get 3 and 4 or something of that combination where you're at the very least in the lottery, and then maybe you trade back for 3. We'll see what they do tonight in the draft. But Atlanta's going to stink. I'm sorry. They're going to stink. I don't see how they jump into the playoff contention with the roster that they have and with nothing else clearly coming in to help it. So they need to trade some people, rebuild through the draft, build that team up. So in a couple 4 to 5 years from now, we'll be saying Atlanta's at the top of the league. They had their run when they had Millsap and Teague and all of that. It just didn't work, didn't win, and it was time to usher in a different era, and this is that era. So Schroeder is not the point guard that they thought he was going to be. Could he continue to develop? Clearly. But I just don't think it's going to happen in Atlanta. So Atlanta, I'm sorry. It's a beautiful city. But NBA-wise, you got the Falcons, so hopefully the Falcons can get it right. But the Hawks ain't gonna do too much for you. All right, they got some years before they be good again. But again, that is the Southeast Division. Atlanta, trade everything. Orlando, build through the draft, take a point guard. Charlotte, trade Kemba. Try to get out of that Batum contract if you can. DC, we gotta win something, man. The Cats brought the cup home. We got to go out the boogie. Use that Kentucky Connect. John Wall, get him on the horn. Make some trades happen if you can. Do not trade draft picks if you can stand against it, because we keep trading our draft picks, and that's why our team isn't young enough on the backside. Keep your draft picks. Maneuver some other things around. Trade Gortat. It's an expiring contract. It's not going to be hard to trade. It's a cheap contract. Get some things in the fold. Consider trading Otto Porter, especially if Boogie's in the fold. You're going to have to trade Otto to get that money to match up, and you're going to have to give New Orleans something that they want. And I think they would take Otto Porter. He'd probably be a better fit for that team than Boogie anyway. I just think the league is too developed to have two players on one team like that. But that's when I get to the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? But DC, come on, man. We need y'all. Ernie Gunfield, your job should be on the line if you're going to get this right this offseason, bro, because we tired of this. All right, we tired. All right, Miami, you got a good team, man. Like, if LeBron want to come, you take LeBron back. But if not, see what the market, trade market like with some other players. Get you an all-star type player. You got good players, but nobody from Miami is making an all-star team. It's just not going to happen. Except Jargis. Jargis had an all-star year, my bad. But so you don't need a point guard, but you need other pieces. Like, is Winslow going to be a guy for you? Is he, you know, he's formidable, he's good, but is he going to be a guy that you can really move forward with? You know what I'm saying? Is Richardson that guy? Is Johnson that guy? Is Magruder that guy? I think they need to re-sign Wayne Ellington. Bring back Flash for the mentorship thing, but they needed some type of all-star, man. It just, I don't know. If it's not out there, it's not out there. You do what you got to do. You keep being a good team that you are. But if it's out there, you got to consider making that move. Maybe you call San Antonio and say, what do we got to do to get Kawhi off your hands? With no draft picks this year, it's going to be hard to happen, but maybe down the road. But that's what I think Miami needs to do. And that's it, man. That's it for the Southeast Division. So, again, the draft is tonight. I'm excited. We're going to see if what I'm talking about even makes any type of sense, what teams are doing, and then we'll see, you know, moving forward throughout the year. In the summer with the free agency where things go. So again, I'm Devon Jamil. This is Sport from the Stands. Holla at your boy later, man. Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. What you call an icon living? Saw the record label Misfits just did it. Nylon cup of 5 minutes. Whoa, we are too hot in the business. About to make a movie independent. Need new trucks independent. I need you to listen.